State your name and what we're doing here.
My name is Chandler Balli, and you are about to watch a documentary about the making of my newest movie, Sect. A lot of really fun times and stressful times, and Travis has been documenting it for about the last year and a half.
A year and a half ago, I approached Chandler about filming a documentary for his next feature. You know, I was nervous and I thought, hey, let me try this out because I've never done it before. So, you're going to see the high points, you're going to see the low points, but you're going to see everything that makes this film work.
So I think our journey starts in May of 2021.
And I hope that y'all enjoy it as much as I did filming it.
What drove you to make this movie?
To do Sect? Well, a few different things. First of all, a lot of people don't really know, but if you go to my YouTube channel, you can find the short film that me and Keith shot one night in 2017. I think I didn't upload it till 2019, but we shot it in like 2017. And that was just about this cult hunting this guy down, which is kind of what this one is, but it's a lot more with having to do with like spirituality and like religion, and also kind of like, you know, someone wondering about their place in the world. And there's just been a lot of stuff in my life recently where I've thought about a few of these things, questioned a few of these things. So after I did One Left, which feels like a mistake that I did One Left first, just because One Left is extremely personal, and it felt, you know, like trying to market this as like, hey, it's my first movie, but it's like really, it's a really personal thing, and it was about kind of my thought process through grief, and that's kind of what One Left was. That's not what this is. This is a lot more fun. I hope this is a lot more audience friendly, but we'll see. I haven't shot anything yet, but yeah. Just, it's like me arguing with myself about religion for like an hour and a half, hopefully. So, the first pieces of footage that we shot were for the test footage, camera test, where I was just getting some shots of the Butcher and Luke, and that's a lot of what we were doing in the beginning. Okay, so we just got in the apron in the mail.
Oh.
This is gonna be the Butcher, part of the Butcher's costume.
The beautiful face will be covered soon enough. Bye.
Travis is happy.
So explain where you found this really creepy cross.
It was at an antique mall. It was labeled at the antique mall as an Easter cross, which I don't know what the hell that means, but I've never seen these things on the sides before, and it's like made out of sticks. It's kind of creepy, but it looks great, and I think it will work great for our motion picture that we're trying to make here. There we go. What are we doing?
Filming the camera test for the Butcher. The mask, it's not coming yet. But let me tell you, these poor little paper towels are gonna be bloody soon enough.
I got this drone, which is this the DJI Mini 2.
The main beauty and
Yeah. Well, at this point in time, I had already been diagnosed with the. I had a hole in my heart. So my surgery was planned already for July 13th. But my original goal was to film as much as I could before my surgery, so then when I'm out for like a month, I could just edit the whole time. That's not exactly how things worked out. So originally, the opening of the film took place in the hospital room, like a psych ward hospital room, and it was all white. I had got new curtains, I got tile for my floor, I built a bed. We really set this thing up and spent a lot of money. That's probably the most money that's wasted in the movie, is I spent a ton of money building the room into this, and then we didn't use any of that for the movie. So there's a bunch of that. It doesn't necessarily look bad, I just don't think it fits with the flow of the movie. And built that this afternoon, and then white sheets from Goodwill. Got our a big lamp over there. Also got that from IKEA, the little light over there. And then didn't have a white pillowcase, so the t-shirt is the pillowcase. And I think I'm about to try for the first time, but I think what I'm going to try to do is just fly the drone up to the ceiling.
You madman.
And lay underneath it. We'll see if it works. Me and Keith originally, we went to the hospital and shot that scene differently with me in front of the red light. And I jumped off this platform and then I would walk into this red light and but yeah, so that was, all of that was fun. I think we have one take where I like bust my ass. That was the last thing we shot before I had to go in for my heart surgery. And we don't have a lot of footage from that time, but pretty much I was just bedridden for about a week or two, and then we didn't really pick up filming. It was about a month after my surgery when we got into filming again.
So explain what we're doing today.
Okay, Travis has made a checklist here of all of the things that we're going to need. We're filming a lot of the first act today, and then we're going to be filming the biggest action scene of my career so far, which I guess is not a whole bunch, but very excited for that.
We've been making sure Mr. Director here has been recovering well.
Yeah, and I haven't died yet, so I am going to resume filming now. Hasn't been a month yet, but it will be on the 13th. Still feeling kind of weird, but I think it's going to go good. We will see. Anything else? Really excited to start filming. I've been fucking sitting here doing nothing for like a month now, and it's been awful.
We're going to be doing a 5-hour car ride to Mississippi tomorrow. Or Sunday, like what?
No, we'll probably be leaving tomorrow.
Okay.
So yeah, 5-hour car ride, and then late night drive to the storage facility. We're shooting one of the opening scenes at this storage facility, and we have Keith tailing us behind like a detective.
Yes.
And yeah, this is what we're about to actually do right now. Me and Keith already did this back in 2017. It's been a long time. Got all things I forgot to use that for everything now. It's so what was that?
Balls.
No! Oh, what balls?
The balls.
The balls.
Things.
Set right.
Probably not.
That went in your butt.
Yeah, it did. It didn't feel good. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got that.
Let's call that a rectus and
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Good
got
now.
it. I'm filming out here, filming Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Let's go guide him.
I mean that with the most respect.
Alright.
Do you see inside Sammy?
Happy birthday. Oh.
Okay. Alright, you ready?
Hold on.
Are these both the same?
What thing's broken? It's stuck.
Oh, it's broken.
What do you mean?
We're all broken. Clothes lights are on.
Explain what just happened.
Filming.
Filming?
Yeah, Will's getting the robes on. We're filming.
See what you wanted me? We're going. We're about to start filming what I consider to be my favorite scene.
You haven't seen it yet.
But I'm about to.
I was thrown for a loop whenever we went to film the restaurant stuff, which is why we reshot it later, because whenever I got up there to film, originally I planned on using this entire antique mall, because I got permission from the restaurant to film, and I thought that included me being able to film with the entire antique mall, but you know, obviously you'd have to film after hours, and it turns out they had motion sensor detectors on. And so I was then told that the entire fight scene that I had choreographed, I was not going to be able to film that. And I had to change it up while we're there on the day of shooting. We only had like 3 days to be able to be there because Keith and Travis had to go back to work. So I was kind of screwed on what I could do. And so I was not happy with the fight scene the first time, which is why we went back a couple months later.
Yeah. Explain what we just did.
What we just did, well, we were driving back from Mississippi now. I think Travis got a whole bunch of behind-the-scenes footage.
I did.
Yeah, we're back on the way back from Mississippi. We filmed the most I've ever filmed of anything in a single day. Had a little bit of a health scare. My heart is still just being really weird, but I think I'm all good. Do a chase scene, kind of go out there somewhere. I had this bit where I would fall into the pool. Well, I'm not sure I'm going to do that now. Got heart monitor. Surgery didn't go the way it was supposed to. I don't know. It's fine. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We got Travis.
Yes, I got me behind the camera, filming you.
We're gonna. I think I'm gonna put the black magic on the back of a car again, which is very risky. Because that's the entire movie right there, and if the camera breaks, then I will not have the budget to get a new one. So we'll be screwed. But I think it'll be worth it. Okay, so. Get that?
No. Wait, did I? Wait, what happened?
I guess it means you didn't get it. Yeah.
This mask. Who did we get the mask from, Chandler?
Miss Kinky
Miss
on
Kinky.
Etsy.
Miss Kinky, you beautiful lady. Thank you. This mask is amazing.
So the thing with the mask is we had to order an extra large to show us an extra large head. Beautiful, beautiful big head.
Hi.
So it's really tight. This is the extra large and it's really, really tight. So We hope we don't.
I only got one, so we gotta make.
Yeah, it's expensive too.
We gotta make
It's a good portion of the budget went into this.
It's amazing.
Very uncomfortable to look at. I think it does the right effect that we're gonna want.
That's what we want.
The butcher character, how best to describe it? So the story that I wanted to make is I wanted it to feel almost like a fantasy, like a classic, like a folk tale almost. And at some point you come across, the evil beast in the second act. I was saying that we could go with a more nuanced approach to your character by not having him speak. But you can say your piece on it or not. I want to really just sketch out this character with you and, really want your input on this.
Honestly, I see a little bit of both. I see him, mixture of Leatherface, but I honestly see a different approach to this, that being a Frankenstein's monster.
Uh-huh.
Frankenstein's monster, when he's first created, he's afraid, he's afraid and like people are afraid of him. He just wants a friend. He didn't want this life. He didn't want to be, created.
Well, it was going to be silent, and then we decided to do it with a voice. Then we went silent again. Then we decided the voice, and we filmed a bunch of scenes with him talking. And then I edited the whole movie and decided silent was the way to go. He's free! Hold on to that, dude. I want a nasty ass mess.
I can just imagine that approach because he's a silent killer, but he has this layer of security around him where it's he doesn't speak, he just wants to.
Yeah, so that scene is him because we get out of the restaurant together, I think that scene is him kind of opening up, and it's probably the first time he's talked to somebody in years.
Yes.
So, I mean...
That scene of him killing his tormentors is... I would picture that to be something that's him finally breaking the chain that, hey, I've had enough of this, let me out. I'm not your prisoner anymore.
And then him going after that one specific guard too.
Yes.
And not only he sees that they're already laying there stabbed and injured, but not only does it do that, breaks their arm.
Yes. And yet having a final opportunity to speak with Luke and finally talking after so long.
That thing they worship, the thing they always pray to. It's real, and I've seen it.
This is how I prepare for a stream. Picked up Left 4 Dead today. My bosses have played this game. Yeah, so we filmed some stuff with Addy. I'm not sure if you got any BTS stuff for that because
I don't think so.
You were off work. Addy was Joe's character first, and then we filmed Joe's entire stuff. We filmed all of that with Addy, and then I got to editing and writing more of it, and I was like, well, who's gonna play the villain? And then I was like, Addy's the man for this job. But ended up casting Addy as the villain. Yeah. I should give an update on Addy's situation.
Okay.
So, the reason I was trying to figure out who I wanted to be the villain for so long was because I wanted someone to be really committed to the role, and I couldn't, I didn't know who to really go to. I talked to a couple people, they didn't really work out, and then had a long talk with Beza and a few of my other friends, and figured out that he would be the best for the job. But the thing is, we already filmed scenes with him. We already filmed scenes with him as Mark, so he was trying to get in the headspace of the villain, see what the villain's views were on things. The dude goes and sends me an entire monologue already written in the thought process of this character.
Damn.
I was like, yeah, that's why he's the best. that's why he's amazing. So
Chandler came to me with Paul. And of course, I got about a novel long text message
Yeah,
from
yeah.
you asking me to be Paul. I've always wanted to play kind of a darker character.
yeah.
And that's be more fun. And Chandler told me one of the influences was going to be Lex Luthor from BVS, and I loved that aspect.
What drives you to figure out the mind of your character? Like, do you like dive into like reading books, like listening to music, or simply just watching movies?
Okay. Well, with One Left, that was much more of like you said, it's kind of like a sci-fi, dark, kind of horror-ish movie, but it also was very emotional, and it was a very in-depth film. And so my character for that movie was more of just kind of like a catalyst for the events that happened with Chandler's character. And in this movie, I'm much more of an antagonistic role rather than a helping role, and it just helped me out because Chandler allowed me to really explore the character. He allowed me to create the outfit for Paul. He allowed me to change stuff around the script, kind of alter motives and stuff that I thought maybe Paul would think and maybe how he would act. And again, it was just more of like a collaborative effort with Chandler on Paul rather than in One Left, where it was more just like I was being more of a supportive role. And yeah, it was definitely much more going into kind of like the backstory, motives, logic behind Paul and what he was trying to do, what he's trying to achieve, essentially.
Addie's, first of all, like the best creative partner to work with, just because he will give his input, and then when I'm doing projects with him, he'll ask for me for my input, and it's just a big back and forth. I don't get that a lot from other people, so I really appreciate that.
We're here coming to you from the set of Sect.
Like, what's been the most fun thing you filmed so far while at this church?
I don't know. I think probably the part where I walked.
That's fun.
I walked and sat a couple times.
What about you?
My favorite part is watching him walk.
I was gonna say, hasn't shot anything yet. The biggest difference between filming One Left and Sect is definitely the cast and crew. So when we shot One Left, that was entirely just me and Keith going out in the woods for hours a day and filming. I didn't factor that in as much when preparing for Sect. I didn't think about the fact that everyone would have to, fly. People had to fly down here, people had to get off work, things like that. And so that was definitely one of the biggest challenges. But we got some great people in here. We got Joe, who came in to do Mark Moses, a role that was originally Addie's. And Joe killed it. I don't know if I can call them test screenings, but the screenings I've seen of the movie, everyone's first reaction to anything in the film is when Joe says, "You crazy son of a bitch," people laugh. And I haven't seen it fail yet. People like that. So that, that's definitely worked. Joe killed it. Mark Moses, he's amazing.
You crazy son of a bitch.
Miking up. We're gonna do it from that way now.
That way,
He's doing amazing. Look at him.
Come to the camera, buddy.
My own set photo. Yeah, you're in it. Of course you're in it.
That was a wrap on Joe Baire.
Hey, yeah.
Joe did it.
Nice.
It was great.
How do you feel?
I smell like alcohol and cigarettes.
Alcohol.
No, I don't actually smell like alcohol.
Alcohol?
It smells bad though.
You had a vitamin water.
Yeah,
It's
I had
okay.
a vitamin water and 2 cigs.
2 cigs.
Yeah.
Now he's ready to go take a shower.
I'm taking a shower.
Hates
And
the smell.
yeah.
Rightfully so. The other one is Jill. Jill Douglas. She's my cousin.
All right, so how did you get involved in this production?
Well, I'm cousins with the director, producer, so I live nearby.
Nice. So like, the word sect, what does that mean?
Sect?
Yeah, sect.
That's the name of the movie, yes.
Oh, okay.
And I was making movies with her since we were like, probably like 8 or 9. I used to make Flash and Wonder Woman superhero movies with them whenever I came to visit them, and so she's been one of my actresses for the longest time, I guess.
Well, I feel very grateful to him for including me and nostalgic at the same time, but this is obviously a lot more organized and professional than what we did just as kids in our backyard.
And so she agreed that she luckily only lives like an hour away now, and so she agreed to come down here, and we rented out this bar, and that was an experience. But overall, it turned out really cool. I'm really happy with it, and the location looks great, and I think the footage we got is great, and Jill killed it. She did amazing.
It's a wrap on Jill.
Started?
Yes.
That's a wrap on Jill. She did great. So, there's a lot in this movie that is actually reshot, and I'm not going to get into every single thing, but the biggest one was the restaurant scene, specifically the fight scene. Everything once I leave the kitchen is vastly different the second time we went and shot. So we shot the first time in August, and then we went back up the week, I think, before my birthday in November. And when we went up that time, that's when we got all of that fight scene, everything with the butcher, killing the guy.
Seeing as that we just we recorded this entire action scene in the mall, what's next?
I think we should do a recap of what just happened.
Oh yeah, good point. All right.
We refilmed everything. I got the Crane 3S, which I showed in that other video. That's not the Crane 3S. Yeah, I got the Crane 3S, so I wanted to reshoot all this stuff, and so reshot it all. We got here at like 3 something. It's now like 10. We're going home. It's been a long day. Yeah, reshot everything. I think it's a lot better. I think everything looks great. I'm really happy with how the footage turned out from what I've seen.
All right. Keith start. Travis start.
Swing.
You're good.
Talk about that.
Nothing happened.
You recording?
Yeah, I got that. I got that, Travis.
How was it?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
God bless.
You guys think you're gonna eat any more of this pizza?
We are, Addie's coming over. We're filming this huge scene. The first time my character is meeting Addie's character, and Addie is the villain.
Okay.
And the butcher is also there.
Yes.
And it's this big, huge climactic scene, like the end of the second act. And so, yeah, we have rented out this really weird shaped house. It's like a dome.
Okay.
Rented out from 7 to 11. Yeah, I'm really excited to shoot. I happened to only get 2 hours of sleep last night, which is just perfect, you know, for a day like this.
I don't want to sit here and have to explain to you.
Okay, that's good. Stop.
I have to sit here and convince you say your God is real, but we have to have a real conversation at some point about.
Good.
I'm guessing it needs some since the walls and stuff like on the actual outer part of it. A big part of
this will take place. It's been a few months since we started the shoot, but we are finally filming part of the beginning, which I'm very glad to be. So yeah, we got Addie and Keith. They're about to come through here. I think they have a pretty good setup here. We'll be filming for the next few hours. Probably gonna finish under the time limit we have. Addie's burping.
It looks kind of down.
Yeah. It's been fun. Stressful. For many months.
Yeah.
It's been like over 6 months since we started, so.
Oh, it has. More stress.
Is that including when I was the friend?
Yes.
This question is for you.
Okay.
How do you think audiences are going to react to a film like this? How are they going to
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure the people who liked One Left will tell me they liked this one. I mean, I'm sure people will like it. People I know, people who follow me, I hope people will like it. I don't think anyone's going to straight up hate it. But at the same time, I kind of want some bad reviews so I can get some feedback from some people. So we'll see. I hope people like it. But, you know, if not, then it will give me something to learn, to grow, to be different, to change. Oh. Yeah. It's fucking awesome, dude.
Even bigger flat screen than that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Really? Yeah, I'm not be playing. Oh.
That was a fucking shot!
Yeah?
Yeah, you recording this?
We're currently making our main character all bruised and bloodied up. He entrusted this with me, so I hope I do a good enough job. Get the people guy. See that?
That's what a good old pistol whip looks like.
Yeah.
I completed bruised up Luke.
Yes. I'm just an LA girl. I need to stop it now.
February 3rd, 2022. I originally said I wanted the movie to be done by Christmas, so a little bit over. I guess we're coming up on like 8 months production, something like that.
So big news, huh? What's happening?
Well, so Beza is supposed to be here in 15 days. Her plane ticket is for March 1st. So we got 15 days to completely finish shooting the movie just because I don't want to deal with that shit once she's here. And I got 2 scenes to shoot with her once she is here. Shit. Wrong direction. Okay, you still recording?
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna work great.
Bro.
It is 6:30 a.m. on Saturday. I just woke up my friend Travis, and me and him are going down to Arabia Mountain.
Yeah. Travis is getting to work on some of his special effects stuff.
Working on this baby all day, and
Chandler liked what he saw, and now we're using it for
Addie's hand.
yes.
We are in the last 4 days now, I guess. Until Baise gets here, and I have like 2 things to film once Baise is here. So this is it. This is the final stretch now. So I'll sleep. 15 days. Finished shooting.
Final stretch.
Final stretch. We're shooting the finale on Friday. At a fucking field somewhere. Hopefully that goes good. Hopefully that goes good. Hopefully that goes good.
Explain what went down.
Well, yeah, it's a shit show. It's terrible. Everything that kind of could go wrong did go wrong. By the end of the night, Travis had caught himself on fire with the fogger.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Trying to choreograph this fight.
Rehearsing.
Yeah, we were doing a little rehearsal. Okay, so
That's a cool sound too. It makes.
yeah, it would sound even cooler with the actual metal on the sword too.
It sounded cool just with whatever this is.
Every time I put it into the map, it was like 30 minutes away. That's what it said. 30 minutes every time. Well, then when we actually, the day we're gonna do it, it was right at rush hour. It was like a Friday night or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you drove up for it. So it was a Friday night, and it was literally, we were booked there, I think at 7:30 or something like that. And I even messaged the woman, I was like, so is it okay if we get there a little bit early? And then we get in the car to drive there, and all of a sudden that 30 minutes turns to like an hour and a half. And it's like, because we were trying to leave at like 5, we left at like 5 o'clock to get up there, and we didn't get there until like 8.
We had to walk all the equipment out
Yes.
to the field from the cars, and that
Yeah.
we had to park in their driveway at the house. And the field was what, like a, like it was
like 2 football fields.
Yeah, it was like
it was
like 200. No,
it was
probably
a
more
while
than that.
ago.
It was like we had to
Yeah.
walk it all out there.
Yeah.
Because we had to reach.
And it was
You had to
pitch
the
black.
fields, and you had to get to the point where the actual stone
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And it was dark as hell, and it was windy, and it was in February.
It was very cold.
It was freezing.
We have pictures of that. Like, I put like multiple jackets on when I'm not on the, when I'm like in the shot. I got a hat. I got a couple hats on.
We had the heaters out there.
Yeah, it was. We had the fogger.
Mm-hmm.
We were putting our hands on the fogger, and by the end of the night, Travis had caught himself on fire with the fogger.
Yes.
Got that robe has like just a melted part of it because Travis caught himself on fire with the fogger. Yeah, so I bought this. It's an arbor for like a wedding. I bought it on Amazon, and it got here, and we laid out the pieces and looked at it, but we realized that we were not going to be able to transport that in the vehicle. We were going to have to build it when we got there. So on top of us showing up late, we still had to build the set piece, set up the lights and everything.
Okay.
We built the arbor, and then like 30 minutes later, it was really windy, and it ripped the arbor in half. Like the arbor, the pieces went flying everywhere, like it exploded. And yeah, I think you have some footage of Keith and Addie putting it up the second time.
Yeah.
I mean, we can get that chair.
I got it. Oh wait, you need to drill it?
Yeah. Oh, shit. I can move it. I can drill it.
Can you hold it, Keith?
Yeah, I'll hold it.
I'll try to,
That's cool.
get to get a hole here. Oh, you right here.
Just do one directly east.
Close your eyes.
Fuck. Are you getting this?
Yeah. This is the Might need to go on the move.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That was like 3 or 4
Yeah. It kept falling apart.
Me and Key kept having to take different nails and put them on both sides. Because
Yeah.
at first we put them on one side, and then the wind came from the other side and flipped it over. And then we're like, all right, we can put nails on both sides then.
And there were like we had rocks put
Weight
on
to
it.
weigh it down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
put
it
whips
wouldn't,
on the bottom.
so it wouldn't do it again. But yeah, it was a nightmare getting there and then being there.
And we had to film around the house too. Because
We-
there's certain
yes.
shots we couldn't have the house in the background.
The house was right in the background.
I was like, I'm trying my best to get it out, but like, there's no way that
Yeah.
I could get his line in his face as well as getting the house out of the picture.
And And when we set the little mannequin thing on fire,
Yeah.
we were all outside the frame with like a fire extinguisher
Yes,
and water
yes.
bottles. We were like,
Yeah,
put it out, dude,
ready
put
to
it
put it
out.
out.
Him,
Yeah.
Keith chasing me with the fire
We
extinguisher.
got a video of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why not? You getting into this, Travis? You record it? No, my phone. Everything is dead.
Is there more in the fire extinguisher?
Yeah.
Please go chase Travis with it.
And that's I was just telling Addie just a minute ago. I'm very happy with how the scene turned out. Like, and I can't believe that. I remember like driving home being like, I really just hope this is not just shit.
We shattered the swords too.
We broke both the swords. The spark shot, because I love that shot in the movie when Addie gets the spark. The spark shot is there, him hitting the sword, and it broke. The sword broke.
The moment I got that
Yeah.
spark, the whole handle and everything just shattered in my hand. And I was
Yeah.
like,
And all that is shot. The fight scene we did shoot chronologically too. So when it breaks in the movie, like we still had to film the rest of that whole fight scene, which is still a good portion of it. That's probably about halfway through the fight scene.
Yeah.
The sword broke, and then I tried to do the same thing. Whenever we're waiting for the portal to open, originally there's a take of me, like after I defeat Addie, I slammed the sword on the ground like that, and whenever I did it, it sparks, but the sword broke too. Yeah.
we had my whole handle duct taped, and then we ran out of duct tape
Yeah.
when we were doing it. So I'm for the whole latter half of the fight scene, I'm
Holding all the
holding it with
pieces.
both hands, trying to keep the sword together.
And so whenever, we wrapped it around the sword trying to fix it, it only wrapped like 2 or 3 times, and then the duct tape ran out. And that's when I felt like, I was like, something doesn't want us to do this shoot. Because too much things are going on. The wind's blowing, it's cold, swords are breaking, it's just...
But we were already there.
Yeah.
We couldn't just stop.
Couldn't really get the fog machine to work. We couldn't get enough fog in the shot.
Because of how windy
it
it
was
was.
so windy, it was just taking it all away.
It took us multiple times to get the body to catch on fire.
That's true. Yes, we had I think I have that entire shot because we just started filming because we were trying to match the shots up. We couldn't get the body to catch on fire. We were like, we poured the stuff on them. I don't remember what we had.
It was just the fire starter, like lighter fluid. That's
And
right.
and then we're like doing matches and trying to throw it on the body and it won't go. So that took a minute.
I put my actual jacket on it too.
Yeah.
The one I was wearing.
Yeah.
Because we got it all cut up too, like when I got stabbed. And
Yeah,
everything. We actually
yeah.
did the cuts, but then we realized when we were shooting, when we did the cuts, he put the blood on wrong. So the blood was like beneath where the cut was.
Yeah.
And then when we were shooting, you couldn't even see the cut
you
in the
couldn't-
jacket
you
or
couldn't
anything.
see it. Yeah.
It was really dark.
Yeah,
It was really,
and I was
really
wearing
dark.
all black.
I
So
got-
it was like, and then what the original shot we were gonna do a one take where we're walking around each other.
Yeah.
And then we meet up, and we tried it like 3 or 4 times, and we couldn't get it because every time
Well,
we
we had
did it,
equipment and the house
yeah,
back
the
there.
house. 'Cause
Yeah.
we tried it. You tried it 3 different times to avoid the house.
Yep.
And then anytime we would have to move all the equipment around the heater, and then there would still be something in the shot.
So we ended up just doing it like you see it in the movie, where it's not over the shoulder of anyone. We see Addie's point of view, like Addie's version, and then you see Luke's version.
Yep.
Paul's and then Luke's version. which still there's equipment in the back. Actually, whenever we do Addie's, because I actually filmed Addie's, Keith's just standing back there. You remember that you got the fogger in your hand and you just
Oh yes.
And so like you're like, oh shit, like you say something like that and I say like, it's okay, let's keep going, and then we kept going with the shot, and that's the shot that's in the movie. So yeah, it all worked out.
One word to describe that night, like Chandler,
Nightmarish.
Addie,
The ninth circle of hell.
Keith.
Oh, you said one word.
Yeah, he said one word.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Cold.
Knowledgeable.
Yeah.
He's one of
Experiences.
It was definitely an experience.
And then we ate Domino's here when we got back and watched the Texas Chainsaw
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Netflix.
Yep. Everyone shit on that movie too, but it was a good experience.
Yes.
Like I equate that movie to having a good time. Like we filmed a movie and then we came and watched an hour and 20-minute Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That was the best part about it, is that it was 80 minutes long.
Yeah.
And we were just like, we can
And
watch
you had
this.
to get up in like 4 hours. You were going to play golf.
Yeah, I had
You're
to go
gonna have
all
to
the way-
leave.
I had
Yeah.
to go all the way back to Forsyth or Macon or whatever that
Yeah.
morning.
And he had like a 2-hour drive ahead of him, and we literally finished Texas Chainsaw at like 2 a.m. Like it was crazy.
And the 10th one is complete. In the glory of his... Jesus Christ.
What are you thinking about?
Oh my gosh. Hey. Nothing.
Well, no, I know it's not nothing.
It's not important. You look amazing.
Good.
Okay. First question. With what you brought to the table in Clear Cut, what, in your opinion, has been the most difficult thing about playing this character?
This is her?
That's her.
Most difficult thing?
Yeah.
We've only done one. Well, actually, you're gonna.
Doing scenes with Chandler because he's great and I'm not. I feel guilty about acting in front of him.
She's never ruining anything.
I am.
She's great.
Obviously, you had, roles in Chandler's other productions, here and there. What, in your opinion, does this role differentiate from your other roles in his movies?
Well, first of all, I have to give a better performance. He's going to send us to film festivals, right?
Yeah. It's a little more pressure.
Yeah, other than Clear Cut, I didn't play in other stuff. So yeah, I just feel like I have to be better than everybody for Sect.
She's doing great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was awful.
No, you're great.
No.
You're amazing.
I will say,
What?
I think your acting has only gotten better though.
Yeah.
She's so good in this, but she's great in this tonight. Like we just got finished filming an item.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. She's great.
Obviously, it's been a bit of a journey to get her down here.
Yeah.
How do you feel now that she's down here?
I feel great. The way I feel about having her down here, it's been 2 years since we were last able to be together because the pandemic started and all that shit. But the way I feel inside having her here is woven into the DNA of the movie, of the script, because the scene that we just shot for like an hour was my character and her character getting to see each other for the first time. In the movie, it's only been like 5 months and they didn't have contact with each other. We FaceTime every single day and night, but it's that I wanted that to be part of the feelings that I had in the movie because that's something that's real and something that I feel that longing is something I feel every day. So I feel amazing. I feel great that she's here, and there's no other better partner in the world to make stuff with. We've made so much stuff since he's been here already, and that's what keeps me not depressed, is making stuff. So I love making stuff no matter what it is. Obviously movies is my favorite, but literally no matter what it is. And so, yeah, she's just perfect. So I'm very happy she's here, and I'm happy that we got to have those scenes in Sect.
It's been a minute. So, explain what's been going on behind the scenes.
I guess the last time you recorded would have been me and Baize's interview.
Yes.
Yeah.
In those last few months, especially after Baise left, or anytime I get to see Baise and then she leaves, I hit a real deep slump in just having these depressive episodes where I'm not able to get a lot of work done, or it's really hard to, and so I'm just sitting around all day, not really doing much when I have a whole movie ready to edit. So it was that on top of waiting for, Antonio to have the score, and for me there's just certain things I still needed to get to, and I was just in this kind of slump where I wasn't getting to those things, and that was probably the worst time period.
Well, I got literally like one shoot left right now that I can think of, the bits, but out of money. Yeah, I don't know. Not been feeling too great. I've been getting really dizzy and stuff, and I think it has to do with the heart medicine I've been taking since my surgery. And I hope that's what it is. I'm actually waiting for a call back from my heart doctor right now. But that's what's been keeping, I get so dizzy that I can't go and edit. Like, I can't sit down at my laptop and edit.
When you're waiting for it to get done, you're waiting for you to be finished filming, we worked on this project for 1.5 years, so it just takes a lot out of you when you just think about the workload I still have to do as a single person, because I'm, editing it by myself, and it just was really hard and feels like a really kind of gray period in my mind.
I guess next month we will have been shooting this movie for 1 year, which is awful. This has been the worst shoot ever.
So yeah, it's just a mixture of my health problems and my mental state, and I just I miss her, and it's hard for me to pull myself back up after that. But I think the key is my family and my friends, especially Travis and Keith and Antonio and Addie and Joe and Chris, and that's what really gets me back to being me until I can see her again. And so I'm really thankful for everybody in my life and being able to do this, because making things definitely helps with that. And once it finally finished, I couldn't be happier. That's whenever I was able to really be myself again and get back into it all.
Alright, say something.
Hello.
Tell me about your first experience working with Chandler.
First experience working with Chandler. I'll go a little bit further than that. Me and Chandler actually found each other before we knew each other, and then after we knew each other, it still took us a little time to figure out who I was. I started putting my music on like a Reddit forum for like letting people use my music in their movies for free. And Chandler found it, and he said that he wrote a lot of stuff to one of my tracks. And this before we knew anything about each other. Then we met on Twitter and we became friends, and somehow one day I got to show him my YouTube channel, and then he recognized one of the thumbnails, and he said that he's been writing to this for like the past year. So that was interesting. So I think it's, you know, it's crazy. And then he asked me to score the first version of Sect, which was a 5-minute short film. And I did that. And I'm sure he still has that up somewhere. So yeah.
Dude.
Do you like that?
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah. I haven't even texted Addie back yet, but yeah, it's great, right?
Dude.
We just got, just showed him the cut of a scene. Addie and Antonio are doing the score kind of together now. I got Addie to do a few tracks for me in the second half of the film, while Antonio works mainly on the first half of the film. So, yeah, just got a great track from Addie.
Dude.
Showed Travis that
Fuck
scene.
that music, man.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
It was more electronic, more synthy in the beginning, and then there's still some synth in it now, but it's sort of mixed with this really old sounding classical, maybe Nightmare Alley-ish. Nightmare Alley was a big inspiration in the beginning. I think I can give a lot of credit to Nathan Johnston for that. I really liked the score of Nightmare Alley when we started this, and it kind of took over from there. Other inspirations would be Prisoner's score by Johannes Johannesson, and the Revenant score.
Mr. Director is here. What the heck are you showing me?
So we first met Travis through Twitter in 2019, and pretty quickly we realized that he had a lot of aspirations to want to be a part of movies and make movies and write stories and just be a storyteller, an artist in some way. And the situation he was in, it wasn't the best for trying to get him to advance in those things. So he moved out here with me and Keith, and that was our goal, getting him out here. Do projects together, let him direct short films, just let him stretch his legs and get his hands on as many different things as he could, because he felt like he had never had that opportunity before. So Travis is amazing. When he really sets his mind to something, he can knock it out of the park. He does the special effects in Sect. He plays the butcher, which that in of itself, I created that role because Travis is very horror oriented. He loves these big horror icons, and I was like, let's take one of those and do our own little spin on it and kind of set it up for a cliche, but then we'll change it up. So he does that. He also was filming this documentary this whole time, and he got a lot of great footage. It's like 6.5 hours of footage to go through. And yeah, so at the end of the day, Travis is probably the guy I talk to the most because he's so easy to talk to. He's one of my best friends, and I cannot be happier to have him a part of this project. And I don't think the movie would have turned out as well as it did if we didn't have Travis a part of our team and just a part of my life in general. And I can't wait to see what he's able to accomplish next and what we're able to accomplish together next.
Y'all just seen the movie. Like, what did you think? Like, what's like your first reactions? Like,
King Balli dropped some cinema.
It's a masterpiece.
Once the movie was finished, obviously, well, Travis saw it first. I showed Travis the movie in 3 different increments. The first 30 minutes, second 30 minutes, and third 30 minutes-ish.
What were some of your favorite scenes?
I'd have to say the scene of Chandler in front of the emergency sign. Great shot. That's a banger. And then I love the transition from the title card to the drone shot. Great.
My favorite scenes are the virtual sunset scene, which is his second stand-up act, and then I like his bathroom like baptism purification scene. I do like the final shots after
the studio shots. Great.
Nice. Yeah, the right studio shots too. Those are all good.
They're so great. Addie and Hannah are just the best. Favorite couple on earth. They watched it. As soon as Addie finished it, he called me. He told me all these things he loved about it. He gave me a few suggestions on things to change, switch those around. I ended up asking Hannah to be the nurse at the beginning, and she killed that.
I don't got any more, actually. Well, no, seeing as that you're here, you actually have a role in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You play the nurse. How did that whole conversation come about?
I need to fill something out.
No, you do not.
Can I ask you something?
What?
Are you mad at me right now?
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm just excited to go.
Oh, Addie just asked me if I would do some lines for Chandler, and I said sure. And then we recorded it in my bedroom. It took about 3 tries, and there was a bunch of us cursing on the outtakes. So I just couldn't get it right, and then I finally did get it right.
Point at me for a second, because I got some backstory behind the nurse role. It might not seem like it, but the nurse role is actually the role that took the longest to cast, because I had somebody in mind whenever I originally wrote the role. That didn't work out, and then for a while I was just like, I don't know who I want for this part, and I mentioned to you a few times there's some people that I was gonna ask, some people I wanted to talk to, and then I think I just got off the party with Addie one night, something like that. I came out here and I told Travis, you know who I think would be perfect to do the nurse role at the beginning? I was like, I'm gonna ask Addie if he can ask Hannah if she would like to do that, because I think that would be great. And Travis agreed with me. But that was literally months. We shot that scene I think in like October of last year at the actual place, and then just this whole time I have not finished that shot because I was trying to figure out which part of the nurse. So yeah.
Nice.
She killed it. She did great. It's exactly what I needed.
I was actually surprised because I thought that it was going to be at the end. And open and shot now.
Right there. And he paid to have the movie premiere at the Plaza Theater where they filmed Dr. Sleep. Like, it's such a huge deal, and honestly I think about it all the time, and it gets me really emotional that I just have friends as great as that. Yeah, favorite couple, and I can't wait to hopefully work with both of them in something else in the future.
When did you first know you wanted to be a cinematographer? Like, was it like the way a movie was shot, or like the?
I don't know. I've always just liked movies, and then once I got with Chandler, and he asked me to start helping out with his projects and stuff, I don't know. I really felt like I might be able to do something.
It's a very This is a good lesson right here.
Yeah.
Gordon,
Yes.
this is why it's good to have Keith on set. Keith climbs.
Any words for the audience?
This pull cord is fucking trash, man.
I've worked with Keith the longest. I've probably been on sets with Keith the longest amount of time. Like a lot more than I've been on sets with anyone else. But
Yeah.
Keith is just the best on-set crew member to have because he does all that shit and he's great at it and he just does it and it's awesome. There's so much of that in the documentary. It's like, oh, this needs to be done. Keith pulls his car up to stand on his car and put a light, put his jacket over the light. Shit like that is just amazing. And that was a great example of it that night. You always need a Keith on set.
Yes.
Look at that. No.
Go back on the van. Back on the van.
What?
You zoomed in on your ass.
No, I did.
And I'm just really thankful for him. And there's no one else like him. So yeah, probably the best investment in my professional career is having Keith. You can't go buy Keiths. You just gotta get lucky and get a Keith. But best crew member ever is Keith.
But thank you all for coming out, and I hope you liked the movie. You had anything you want to say?
Here's Sect.
What were some of your inspirations in writing these characters out for Addison, Chapman, and myself to play as respectively?
Well, like I just said, the Lex Luthor thing for Addie, and he killed that. He's insane in the movie. He does a great job just being like a psychopath. It was supposed to be that, but it was like this psychopathic cult leader, but at the same time I didn't want him too different from like a normal like youth pastor that you run into. So it's that was really the main goal with his character. And then with the Butcher, me and you talk, I mean, that's a big thing. You moved down here, you're staying with me now. We talked about how you wanted to be like a horror character, like a Jason, Leatherface type of character. And so, I mean, that's what it is with the Butcher, is it's kind of like, the setup is like Leatherface almost, like we're doing the kind of cliche thing, but then I try to do like a little bit of a twist with that and not have him do that and try to do something better towards the end of his life.
I kind of try to bring in a little bit from Frankenstein as well.
Yeah, because whenever we originally filmed it, you had lines.
Yeah.
And then it was just you explaining what you were already feeling those, so we just cut all of those out, and I think it's better that way. I think you do a great job.
That thing you told me was that, think of it as Lon Chaney.
Yeah, exactly. You're like a silent film actor in the middle of the movie, and
hey, I'm glad I got to do this.
Yeah, you did great, man.
I gotta say, that whole scene between you and Addie, one of my favorite scenes in this film.
Thank you.
You two kill it, like in that way.
Addie killed it. Can we get a round of applause for Addie? Yeah, he did amazing. He's so good in that scene.
Bottom line, man, it's one of my favorite lines. Like, it's so good. So good. What if God was real?
Yeah, wow. Why would he let you do this? Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like that.
Cinema.
Thank you.
Okay. Antonio Demora and Addison Chapman both played a part in crafting up this wonderful score.
Yeah.
Explain to me how that process went.
So like I said, Antonio did this. He's covering his face right now. Let's give a round of applause for Antonio. Antonio did the soundtrack, or he did the score for it back in 2017, or whenever 2019, whenever we released it, and he did a great job with that. And so we just knew that we were going to have to work together on this one. And so he did the main theme and all that, like all the main stuff he did. And a lot of those tracks he'd made like over the last year, like before I even had footage done for it, but he had made them. That's like what the title card is. He did that without any footage already made, and he did a great job with that. And then Addie also makes music, and his stuff is always just sounds very cinematic, and so I knew he does a couple of scenes in the movie. He scored a couple of scenes. The scene where I'm looking on the computer and sneaking through like Mark's house, that's all Addie, and that's that one. And then the restaurant fight scene, I just knew that he'd be perfect for that. So I got him to do those tracks. And also, when you first see Paul at the church, like sitting in front of the cross, that's also just that was a track Addie did. He just sent that to me. I cast him as Paul, and then like less than a week later, he's like, "Hey, I made this song that's supposed to be for Paul." He just sent it to me, and I was like, "All right, that's awesome." And then that stayed in there as a temp track for a while, and then it stayed in the movie.
That's great. And explain to me how the overall soundtrack played a part in this one as well.
Yeah, we got some great artists for the movie. Capsule Hotel does I Always Will, and that's that first song whenever he's leaving the hospital and he's walking down the road. I really love that one, just the vibe and everything, just as like he's getting out and he's walking back into this world, and he just they did an amazing job. Him, and then Melodite, I asked her if I could use a few of her songs, 3 of her songs, and they're all just incredible. She was really cool about it and let me use them for free, which is amazing. And the final scene where I'm like on the phone with Baze's character and then talking to 911, that's her track, and it's so good.
When you showed me the original ending with that music for the first time, I thought, like, you're asking me, oh, this is good, like, should I keep it saying? I thought, dude, shout out to her.
Yeah.
Her music is amazing. Like, shout out to everybody, man.
Yeah, I had the best people possible to help me with this, and I'm very grateful for all that. I just can't believe I got to work with such talented people. Also, I don't hate my mom. I don't. I know it's like, I don't want her to feel that way either. I don't hate my mom. That was just part of it was just kind of to be able to compare that to a higher power and just kind of have that back and forth there. But my mom's the best. She's here. She's been very supportive this whole time. Yeah, woo! Thank you so much. And Addie's mom, I'm very sorry that I keep killing him. I'm going to try to not do it anymore. I feel bad every time. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to try not to do it anymore.
You've been working on this film for a year.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel knowing it's done, it's completed?
It feels really good. It feels really good for it to be done. So when we started filming, that was before I had heart surgery. So Travis actually filmed a documentary that's going to be coming out hopefully within the next few months. Then he's documented this whole last year, and so we filmed some stuff right before my surgery, and then we started filming right after. Well, like I think it was a month after is when we started filming stuff, and the virtual sunset thing where he talks about, he looks at the virtual sunset and cries, and that's kind of like his, feels like that's a sign from God. That's actually a true story from the night before my heart surgery. I was just like, this is it. This could be it. And Keith had brought me my Oculus. I had to stay in some hotel next to the hospital. And I put that on, and I just remember being really emotional. And I was like, this is a special moment though. So that's why that's in there. So just all this stuff, a lot of ups and downs over the last year. And I'm just so glad that it's finally out and everyone got to watch it.
It's not really a question, but more of a, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you, like, for giving a shot to me to play a part in this, like, madness, man. Like, playing this character, bro, the Butcher. I love
it, man. You did a great job.
I love this guy. I mean, it's sad that he's dead, though, because as soon as somebody killed him.
Yeah.
But it's great, man. I love you, man.
I love you too, bud. I just want to thank everybody. Thank you, everyone who came out, especially the people who flew out here. That means so much to me. This has been such a great experience to meet all of you that I haven't met before, and then just to have family and friends here and stuff. That's just so awesome. And I want to just thank the cast and crew real quick. So just, again, Addie did amazing in the movie, and I couldn't be happier with his performance. He's so good in there. You did incredible. Just so glad that you're here and you were able to do that character, and that you're happy with it, because that's really what I want to do, is have you be a part of the process of that too. Joseph Moses Baire, yes. Best hype beast on earth. I love you. And my favorite bald person. That's good. Good stop now. We're gonna have to get out of here.
Well, another round of applause for our director here.
The premiere went amazing, and now Sect has won all these awards. And I couldn't be more proud for Chandler, man. This film was amazing, and I'm so glad I got to document it every step of the way. So now, for the final question. What drives you to make movies? Why make them?
Being able to film, have a casting crew, composer, the music, just the aesthetic, being able to put that all together and then tell stories that are important to me, like things I feel like I need to get out. That's just, movies are the way to do that for me. That's just always been my go-to. I mean, I've been making short films and stuff since I was like 10 years old. It's just always been my thing. And what drives me is just being able to tell those stories. I hope I don't ever do anything that's, been done a million times before. I want to do something, I want to talk about something that matters. I want to do something that is important to me, but also might connect with someone somewhere. At the Sect premiere, I had people come up to me and tell me that they felt the things that Luke had felt, and they understood why he was reacting the way that he did to certain things. And I mean, in the end, that's the goal, to have any strong feelings towards your film, whether they be good or bad. I feel like you've accomplished that goal, because that's the thing. It's just, in the end, it's just a bunch of random clips, sounds, all these things put together and put on a screen somewhere. And I think it's like a miracle anytime a movie comes out that people feel a way, like a certain way about, good or bad. It's just, I think that's
think that's a really hard thing to do. And yeah, and I hope I can just do this for as long as I have stories to tell. That's the biggest thing for me, is there's a lot of things I want to talk about. I have a lot of projects in mind, and hopefully I'm able to do them. It just depends on if I can survive off of this, off of being able to do that. So in the end, I think we accomplished the goal that we set out to do, and now Sect is getting distribution from Amazon Prime and a Blu-ray release, and it's just it's been a long journey to get here, but we're here. So thank you, Travis, for recording everything for the last year and a half, and thank you everybody for watching. It means a lot to me.
That's what you believe in? No.
No.
No, you get, no, hey. Church. That's where I wanted to shop it. Start over. They actually knocked me on my ass. Okay.
I didn't know this one.
So that's why I think Spirit of Vengeance is better than the original film. The amount of things we learned about Johnny Blaze is so cool. I mean, what other film can do that?
Luke?
That whole time?
Alright, I think I really hope it was. Oh no, I'm still recording. Shit.
Yeah, you gotta press the